Hello and welcome back to Gardening and Allotment Tips. This is your podcast for today, and if you've not hit that subscribe button, do click it and then you'll get notified when new podcasts come up. And at the moment they've been coming up pretty daily, so aren't you lucky? If you're enjoying them, thank you, and keep listening to them, as it encourages me to record even more for you and trying to find new subjects to talk about, which can always be tricky because there's not that much to talk around at February time. But I'm trying to find stuff and keeping these podcasts going because you're obviously enjoying them, hence why so many people listen to them. So thank you for all those that do listen to them. And if you've not checked out my other podcast called Gardening with Ben, please do check it out. It's either in the link in this description, or you can just search Gardening with Ben on any podcast platform and it will come up, and there's over 150 episodes to listen to, so you best sit back and relax to them. So what are we going to be talking about today? What we'll talk about is knowing what to grow when you're starting an allotment or a garden. When you get an allotment or you're thinking of growing fruit and vegetables, it can always be rather tricky knowing what to grow and where to grow it. You get so excited when you get an allotment that you just want to try everything, and I mean everything. And that is basically what I do, to be honest. The best way to explain what to grow is, what I usually do is I go to a garden centre or to a place where they sell seeds, and I have a look at everything what they are growing, and usually there's a lot of stuff to choose from. And so I usually go through them all and just choose all the things that I want to try growing. And I always try and look at ones that look good varieties, ones that look good on the picture. Obviously the picture sells 1,000 packets. If they put a rubbish picture on, you wouldn't buy it, would you? So I always have a look to see if they're a good type of variety, and I'll read the back of them. I'll see how much care they need and whether they look easy to grow as well. And sometimes I'll make a list of them all, of all the stuff what I want to grow, and go home and then research it and then go back and buy them. That's another way of doing it. And it's good to try stuff what you've probably not tasted before, because there's so much out there that tastes so nice that you won't have tasted before, that is worth off growing. And that goes the same for when I try new stuff every year. Every year I like to try something new down on the allotments. Last year I tried growing different varieties of squash, which was fantastic. This year I'm thinking of trying different types of beans. There's a lot of different varieties of beans out there to choose from, so I'm going to try and grow some different varieties of beans down at the plot and see which ones grow best and which ones are the tastiest, because there's so many varieties out there. Like I say, it's good to try as many different things as possible. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. Definitely trying lots of varieties of beans. They come in different colours, yellow, green, red even. So yeah, it's good to try different stuff. And a lot of the time trying different stuff and new stuff comes from me having my magazines every month, my Grow Your Own magazine and my Kitchen Garden magazine, because they come with seeds what you probably wouldn't purchase from the garden centre, because you might think, oh, I don't know whether I like that or not, I don't know whether it'll grow or not. But if you get them in the magazine, then you are going to try them, because you don't want to waste free seeds unless you swap them with somebody else. And that's always a good way to try stuff as well. Swap seeds with other allotmenters or gardeners and see how you get on that way. And also a lot of times it goes from word of mouth as well. If you're talking to your neighbour on the allotment or somebody else on the plot, and they might say, oh, this grew really well, it was really nice and tasty, I definitely recommend growing this. Then you're going to go and try and grow it. If you see it in the supermarket, you'll go, oh yeah, that was the one that he mentioned, I'll give that a try. So that goes as well. And sometimes obviously the taste test. If you've got somebody near an allotment and you've got too much produce, it's always good to share with your neighbour, and they may give you something to try and you might think, oh, that's delicious, that I really need to grow that again. And that's how you try new stuff and know what to grow. And also as well, it's good to see what other people are growing on their plots and seeing how well it grows on their site, to see how well it grows. And yeah, a lot of times as well is if you've tried it once and it grows really well on your plot, try it again and keep trying it. Some years you might do absolutely rubbish. I grew some melons one year on my allotment and they did absolutely fantastic in my polytunnel, and then I tried them again a couple of years later and they did rubbish. But I know that I can grow them if I've grown them 1 year. I know that they've grown well on the site, so it's good to keep trying stuff. Some years you'll have failures and some years you won't. It just goes down to how well you are putting the effort in as well. Obviously getting good crops from your produce requires effort, and if the more effort you put into growing stuff, the more better produce you will get out of it. And obviously keeping stuff weed free as well, it goes a long way, because if you don't keep it weed free, the weeds will take all the nutrients and all the energy and all the goodness from the soil, and you need good soil to grow stuff in as well. So looking after your produce does get you great results. So when trying to grow stuff for the first time, give it a go, put in 100% effort into growing it, look after it and give it a go. It's the same with potatoes. There's many different varieties of potatoes out there to choose from. Just try a couple of different brands each year and see which ones you like, and then you'll know which ones to grow in future. And it's like onions as well. There's many different varieties of onions. You can grow onions from seed or you can grow them from set. I grew them from seed and set last year, and the seed did better than the set, so I'm going to stick to growing them from seed from now on. So it's experiments as well, and that's what gardening is. If you don't experiment, you wouldn't know how well it grows. So give everything a go. Try a few things each year, try a few different new things each year, and see how you get on. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast today, talking about knowing what to grow and when to grow it and where to grow it. That has been your podcast. So make sure you do click that subscribe button, because it's great to see how many people are subscribing now. And remember to check out my other podcast, Gardening with Ben, on all other podcast platforms as well. That's my main podcast channel, so check it out. So yeah, I hope that you have a fantastic day. It's absolutely miserable here in Sheffield where I'm recording it from. I'm glad I'm on night shift, because it would have been a waste of a day. But until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts.